So I've been sitting here enjoying my protein drink. I don't drink wine, not anymore anyway. Let me tell y'all a little secret. If y'all want to lose weight, don't drink any alcohol. You want to know why? Because you will not burn fat and calories for 3 days after one alcoholic beverage. So drink water and protein drinks. So that's your little public service announcement for today. With that said, I'm splitting up some videos into smaller chunks in order to kind of make it a little bit easier and quicker to watch some things. And so this particular video is going to be about how to decoupage soap in order to make decor. They make great gifts. I learned this technique from our Upcycled Life. This lady's out of Canada. She has some very good techniques on how to use different things. She makes her own chalk paint, and I think she makes her own decoupage medium and all kinds of stuff. So, but here's just a sample of what one of them looks like that I've already created. If you don't like the shine on the soap, here's one of the other ones. You can use a matte finish dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Now it has to be dishwasher safe, okay, when you decoupage hand soap, because you do not want this to come off when you're washing your hands. The back will be used to soap your hands up with, and the front stays pretty the whole time. So stay tuned for that video coming up. But in the meantime, please like and subscribe and comment in the comment section some little emoji that has to do with like soap, maybe some bubbles or something that you clean with. Surprise me, okay? Thanks so much. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we're going to decoupage some soap. Okay, and yes, this is just plain Ivory soap that you get at Walmart. Get in a big 6-pack or 8-pack, which is what I did. And I did these last year for Christmas, and they were a lot of fun. I gave them out to family and friends. You can also do them just for your own home decor ideas. So let's get started with this. Let's open each one of them up. I'm going to do 3 of them and show you what to do. But it makes such pretty little gifts. You can do it for like your guest bathroom if you want special soap in there. Of course, you can go out and buy some if you want to, but there's no fun in doing that. And it can be a headache, you know, because then you got to go find what you like and where can you find it and all the sort of thing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start with some dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Okay. Now, I wish I could say that this was my original brainchild. It was not. I learned this from another YouTuber. I'm going to try to figure out who that is and put it in the corner up here so you can see. But I believe it's something I learned from a lady who has a YouTube channel. She's Canadian. She does some very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So if it's her, I will put her information up here in the corner so that you guys can check her out. What I like to do with the Mod Podge, I mean with the soap, Mod Podge and soap, is I like to use pretty papers on it. Now you can use decorative napkins. These are actually paper doilies that I got from Temu actually. So I'm gonna use those. I'll get a decorative napkin though and do one of them so that you can see how to do that too if you're interested in doing that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with this is you want to coat the tops of the soap. And actually, I'm not going to do the side that's got the name written down. I want to do the flat side, okay? And I'm going to put a very thick coat of dishwasher safe Mod Podge on here. Now, while I do this, I'll tell you a little story. So I was watching YouTube yesterday. Just kind of flipping through. I don't really watch regular TV anymore. I'm always curious to see what other people are doing, even if it's not something I'm naturally or that I'm going to be interested in doing myself. I still like to watch what other people do because I like ideas, you know. And so there was this lady who was a decorator. probably trained or educated in formal decor or whatever. And I thought, oh, I'll watch this, you know. And I had to just turn it off because it was not for me. Now, there's a lesson in this right here. I mean, if something is not for you, you don't have to comment that it's not for you or that you don't like it or you want them to change. You just don't watch the channel. That's what I can't understand. Like, why do people have to be so ugly on some of their comments? I haven't had any ugly comments yet. I'm sure I will, but I hear other creators talk about it, and I'm just kind of like, I don't understand. Like if I have a you know a video that I see that I'm not real happy with, guess what? I'm just gonna turn it off and do something else and not watch that channel. But in this particular episode of whatever she was going to be talking about, she was at a store. She was at Home Goods, I think, and talking about, decorate with this, but don't decorate with that, and do this so that it doesn't look like your pillows fell from the sky all of a sudden and don't really match your decor or your sofa or whatever. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When it comes to rules, I have been a rule follower, it seems, all my life. At first, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and then I was made to do it. And then I realized I'm not really good at it. And I need to have an outlet where there are no rules, okay? And for me, that's my house, okay? And so when I decorate, I'm very maximalist. I'm very, like, I'm over the top. And the reason is because, well, it makes me happy. It makes my eyes twinkle and my heart sing, and that's just what I like. Now, if somebody else doesn't like that, they don't have to decorate their house that way. They can decorate their house the way that they want to. They can look at what I do and go, oh my God, I'd never do that. Well, good for you. Don't. Don't do that. If that's not for you, don't do it. But I will say this. Um, Turn. If somebody's doing something you don't like, that doesn't, meet your ideas or ideals or your standards, turn the channel. Because I don't expect that person who's got their video up to change to make me happy. And I'm certainly not going to change to make somebody else happy. So, is what it is. So, ain't nothing you can do about it, really. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So, anyway, so the moral of the story is when you do something in your house, do what makes you happy, not what some educated influencer told you to do. Now look, if you guys want to, do something that's, in a certain way or whatever, do it. If that makes you happy, do it. Do it. But your house is the one place you can express yourself, and nobody really need to comment or whatever. So, but with that said, this is my first coat right here, and it's a little bumpy looking. Um, let me just try to spread this a little bit here. I want it to be a little bit smoother than this. I might have messed this up, because I'm chatting instead of paying attention to what I'm doing. I mean, I should be able to do both. I mean, I got to give my woman card back because I can't. Y'all, y'all. So, but I'm just going to kind of smooth it just a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to need to set this to the side and let it dry. And it might need to dry for a while, like overnight or something. So we'll just see. But I'm going to set this to the side and let it dry. In the meantime, let's look at what our options are here. I'm going to use this piece here that I'm not using just to kind of get an idea of what the shape's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and open these up. And these are just adorable. And again, I got these from Temu. And y'all, I fought so hard trying to order anything from Temu. I did because, well, I'm not going to go into that. But I did. I tried to fight it. But y'all, I got on there and I got to looking around and I found certain things I loved and I caved. And this is one of them. I mean, look at that little paper doily. Is that not the cutest thing? I mean, it's gorgeous. Look at that. And so I love the paper doilies. I'm a doily person. I like regular doilies. I've got vintage doilies that have been given to me from family members or that I picked up at thrift stores. So yeah, um, Love them. And then I got these cutouts too. Um, Look how that's packaged. Is that not the most adorable thing? It's got this little ribbon around it. Look at that. Um, I don't know that they have any more of these on Temu. I bought these over a year ago. Um, and so, but these are just some pieces that are, they're decorative. Personally, I love this one right here. That's beautiful. So, and I like to take these and combine them with the paper doilies. Um, Let me see here. Oh, that one's pretty. So let's see what kind of combination we can come up with here. Does that make sense? So, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half like this. Fold it in half, and then you'll fold whatever doily in half that you want to use. Kind of like that. Try to make a little bit of a straight edge here. And if you don't have these kinds of papers, look, you can do this with anything. I mean, you can do it with decorative napkins. You can do this with cardstock. You can do this with decorative tissue paper. Um, I mean, there's just all kinds of things you can do. You don't have to get the little decorative doily things like I have here. So you can kind of see how, what I'll do is when I attach this to the soap, it'll be in this little half moon shape, so you'll still be able to see the soap, and then you'll have this part on here too. And then because of the way, I think I'm going to do it like that right there. I don't want it to necessarily be completely half of the piece of the doily. So I'm just going to kind of put a small little cut like that right there. There we go. And I'll stick that together on top of the soap, and that will be very pretty. Okay, put that to the side for now. And then, uh, let me see here. I may just do like a doily on it. I really love this one here. That's so pretty. And I could even kind of come off at an angle like that. Let's do that. Isn't that pretty? An angle like that. So it's just a wee bit offset. Now, before I use it on the actual piece, I may have to trim it up a bit, but that gives me the basic idea there. All right, we'll put these to the side. All right, now let me show you this here. Okay, this is a napkin I ordered from Amazon, probably last year sometime. And I love this napkin. It is actually um, fall-like. It's got some acorns on it and some kind of fall-like flowers. The reason I love it is because it reminds me of the blue chinoiserie. And so I'm going to decoupage a piece of this to one of the bars of soap. When you decoupage napkins, though, sometimes, and some of you may know this, but others may not, there are multiple layers to napkins. They can have 2 to 3 different layers. Sometimes on the packaging, it may tell you like 2 ply, 3 ply, whatever. You really just want to have the top layer. Sometimes it's hard to get it started. Use a piece of tape, it'll help get it started. See, just picks it right on up. Now, I know some crafters that will keep this piece. Um, And if you attach this to a piece of paper, you can actually run it through a laser printer and use this to decoupage with. I've not done that, nor have I kept these pieces before, because, well, I don't have time for that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead though and figure out what part of the napkin I might like to have on my soap. And I kind of like the way that this little bouquet right here looks. Isn't that pretty? So question is, do I do it kind of more like that? So there are actually websites out there where you can buy a napkin to do decoupage with. Um, or you can get them off of Amazon or Temu, or, you know, go to the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Dollar General, any of those places. They will have some decorative napkins from time to time that you could use. So, so that's the little piece I'm going to work with right there. We'll set that off to the side for now. Now, will I save this? Probably should, but I'm not going to this time. So, um, besides, I've had this for over a year. I think I need to use it. So wouldn't it be pretty decoupage on like one of those little plastic pumpkins? Put that in your house. Be pretty. Anyway, might do that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I have my little soaps here. They have dried, and now I'm going to take an iron. I'm going to use my regular iron because I really need for this to be hot. You want it to be hot but no steam, okay? And I'm going to fix um, my pieces of paper on here on the soap. Okay. And here is the piece. I think I'm going to do like right there. Okay. Now, you want to take parchment paper to iron this with, okay? Not wax paper. You want parchment paper. You want to just put that parchment paper over it and put that iron on there and let it sit for a few seconds. Maybe having a problem with this one. My paint may have done something Wonka do. Look at that. Some pink came out of it. That's very interesting. So this particular napkin, the paint ran out of it. So I've used it before with this project. I didn't have the pink. Um, but either way, it's going to be pretty anyway. Um, might not use the napkin again for this, or any kind of decoupage for that matter, if it runs like this. So, all right, let me go ahead and do this one. I got a clean piece here. All right, you see how it kind of pulled while it's still kind of wax. You can then take it and do this right here with it. There we go. All right. And now let's do this one. Okay, now I have these attached. I'm going to trim the edges here. Don't sand the soap to get clean edges. I think it's really necessary. Okay, that looks good. Let's get these. Actually, this might sand nice. Let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to sand down. Scraping off the excess Mod Podge that's kind of dripped down on the sides. Okay. All right. Got those trimmed up. Now, the reason that you want to use dishwasher safe Mod Podge is this, because when this cures, and it takes about, I believe it takes 30 days, so when you do these, you want to do them enough in advance for them to cure. Once it cures, when you use the soap to wash your hands, because this has got the dishwasher safe Mod Podge on the top of it, when the soap gets wet, the soap comes from this side and not from this side. So as the soap gets thinner and thinner and thinner, you continue to have your pretty top. It doesn't go away, and you're left with this at the very end if you do it right. You have to put several layers on. So now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the layers of the Mod Podge. Now, of course, with this one, I'm going to put this piece on top. I'm just going to kind of put a light coat there. Remember, Mod Podge is nothing really but glue. So, and I'll trim this off here. And then Mod Podge over the top of it. Now, what I usually do is I will do a layer, and then when that dries, do another layer, and then when that dries, I'll do like 4 or 5, sometimes 6 layers on these to get a nice thick coating over the top of the design. Definitely with this, we'll use a coat here. Disappointed in it running like it did. But at least you have an example of what a napkin would look like if you were to use one. You just want to make sure that, you know, if you're using it for a gift, that it's color fast and it's not gonna run and smear like this one did. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got the pink in it. I don't hate it, but, you know, I really would like to have had it to be, you know, the nice crisp white and blue. I think that would be much prettier. So again, I will probably put another 4 or 5 coats on top of this after each layer dries. It looks like finished. These are the 2 of the doily ones. I didn't put the blue on here. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it when it was done. I'll just style the green ones together. I think that's pretty. And it makes some really pretty little soaps for your bathroom.